If I were someone who were looking for a laptop that I could both work and game on, what would I choose? Well, out of all the options out there, I went with the Asus Zeyphrus G16 2024. I've been using this laptop for about a month now, and I can say mostly good things about it. So let's dive in. Starting off with the performance. The AMD Ryzen AI 9 HX 370 is an incredibly powerful CPU. With its 12 CPU cores and 24 threads, at a base clock of 2 GHz up to 5.1 GHz, at only a 4nm fabrication process, this thing has crushed every workload that I have thrown at it. When it's time to kick it into gear and the RTX 4070 kicks in, this laptop will perform very well in every single game you want to play. This model also comes with 32 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM at about 7,500 megatransfers per second, which makes things run very smoothly. With that being said, the RAM is soldered with no additional slots, so do take that into consideration. Okay, before my battery dies here, the RAM is, I believe, located with the CPU and GPU under those cooling... It's a heatsink. Whatever they're called. Storage varies between models, but I got mine with a 1TB NVMe M.2 SSD. Unlike the RAM, the storage is upgradable. The pre-installed storage is interchangeable in the case you want to upgrade, in addition to an additional PCIe 4 slot. Moving on to the screen, what Asus is calling the Nebula display looks amazing. It's a 16-inch, 2.5K, 16x10, 240Hz, with as low as a 2 millisecond response time, 400 nit, NVIDIA G-Sync HDR OLED panel. Now, that's a lot of stuff to cover, so let's start with the screen size. 16 inches is great for multitasking, or having several panels open in a photo or video editor. It has a resolution of 2.5K, 2560 by 1600, which is the result of the 16x10 aspect ratio. The pixel density on this thing isn't the best. It only has 188 pixels per inch, which isn't exactly the highest. There are better options out there, especially considering that its smaller brother, the Zeyphrus G14, has a 2.8K, 241 pixels per inch display. The screen goes up to 240 Hz refresh rate, with about a 2 millisecond response time for any sort of fast-paced gameplay. For non-game usage, I used to leave it on 60 Hz before finding out about sort of overclocking it, and I was able to get 120 Hz out of it. I'll leave a link to that Reddit thread below. 400 nits is good for most indoor scenarios, but take it outside and things may become a bit dim. Colors out of the box are rather saturated and more on the warmer side, probably intended to make game colors pop more, but with a bit of tweaking and enabling of HDR, which disables the Armoury Crate game profile, I seem to be able to get things looking right. When I first got this laptop, I was checking color accuracy compared to both my Pixel 9 Pro and my MacBook Pro 2018 with a messed up screen. The colors seemed to almost match that of my Pixel 9 Pro, more so than the MacBook Pro's Retina display. Moving on to the build quality, the Zeyphrus G16 both looks and feels like an everyday work laptop. The entire body is aluminum alloy, which gives it that premium feeling, all while only weighing in at 4.08 pounds, which is lighter than any 16-inch MacBook Pros. Its incredibly slim body of 0.59 inches makes it putting places such as your backpack very easy and convenient. The keyboard is also very nice. I personally don't care that much about keyboards and whatnot. With that being said, a little more travel is nicer. You do get a bit more of that on this thing compared to, say, a MacBook. The keyboard has a full RGB backlight that has 3 levels of brightness that can get fairly bright at its brightest setting. The trackpad is interesting. It's a haptic trackpad, which means you can just tap instead of having to fully press down, which can take a bit of force. The tapping feature means you can double tap, hold, without putting on any pressure, and move things around as if you were pushing it all the way down and moving things around. The hinge feels great, is very smooth to use, and allows for up to 145 degrees of screen tilt. The slash on the back does light up if you choose. You won't personally notice it if the lid is open, but everyone else will. Jokes aside, the slash does make things a little confusing about which side you're supposed to open it up by. With that being said, there is a small little Republic of Gamers logo on the bottom right of the lid, but it doesn't help me orient it much more because it blends into the body a bit too much. Next up, we have the ports. The Zeyphrus has a wide range of ports. 2 USB Type-C ports, one of those ports being a Thunderbolt 4 port, so support up to 40 gigabits a second data transfer. I personally use this port for USB-C to DisplayPort in order to achieve that 165 Hz on my external monitor. The other is just a regular 3.2 Gen 2 with support up to 10 gigabits a second, so that's going to be useful if you have a smaller charger with you or a slower USB-C accessory. 2 USB Type-A, also with up to 10 gigabit per second transfer speeds. 1 HDMI 2.1 supporting up to 48 gigabits per second, which allows for a wide range of resolutions and refresh rates. 1 3.5mm audio jack for wired headphones. For all you content creators, an SD Express SD card reader. Finally, the charging port / power supply looks to be a chunky version of a USB-C, in the sense that it can be charged upside down or right side up. The brick itself is a 200 watt AC adapter that will charge your laptop up in a little under 2 hours. Now for the audio. The speakers on this thing are loud. It has a 6 speaker array. I can't find the specific numbers for this thing, but it will fill a decent sized room. When it comes to fan noise, this laptop can be, in silent mode, both dead silent, but it can also be very loud. In turbo, the triple fan array on this laptop can get rather loud, with a recorded volume of almost 49 decibels. Okay, so I'm playing Marvel Rivals right now, and listen to this thing, it's so loud. I don't know why it's running at 97%. The microphones, well, you've been listening to them. It says it's a 3 mic array, but I don't see the third. Anyways, I've been using this because it happens to be the highest quality microphones I have around. The camera. The camera on this laptop is a 1080p camera. It works pretty well, looks pretty good. In addition to facial recognition, which it uses for the Windows Hello biometrics unlock. It comes with some camera effects such as background blur, eye contact, and automatic framing, which is like Apple's center stage stuff. So far, the camera effects are the only thing that has ever used the neural processing unit that comes with this AMD CPU, which I will touch on again in a little bit. As for the network, this laptop has Wi-Fi 7, allowing for some very fast speeds. I haven't run into any issues with slow speeds and fast networks yet, so great job. Finally, the cons. Starting off with AI. As you may recall, part of AMD's naming scheme for this laptop chip is the AMD Ryzen AI 9HX 370, which includes a 50 TOPS NPU. But I haven't found any reason to justify needing a neural processing unit. In addition to the NPU, this is a Windows laptop post-2023, which means Copilot. Found on the keyboard is the Copilot key, which I quickly bound to the device-wide search, similar to the Spotlight search key on my previous MacBook Pro. And finally, the battery. The Zeyphrus G16 has a 90 watt-hour, 4-cell lithium-ion battery that works as well as you'd expect for a laptop running an x86 architecture. If I can be real with you for a second, this laptop is an amazing laptop. The battery life is good, but it's still a gaming laptop. I mean, gaming laptops are notably the worst laptops you could get if battery life is your top concern, and this is a gaming laptop. With that being said, the fact that it is technically a gaming laptop marketed towards creators, it is going to be one of the best battery lives you're going to get. And there's a lot of videos out there that are going to tell you how you can be getting I saw 20 hours streaming once, and it's just, no. I mean, maybe I just don't fully understand, but I've underclocked it so that in silent mode it is running only at 10 watts. That is extremely low, and any lower, then the laptop starts to lag because there's just not enough power to it. So keep that in mind. After everything considered in this video, I think it's safe to say the Zeyphrus G16 2024 is going to be the closest thing you're going to get to a work and gaming laptop currently on the market. Thank you for watching. I've been Ben Great Digital. Subscribe, like if you enjoyed this video. This has been my first review of any sort of tech product, so leave a comment if you have any feedback on what I should do moving forward. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you again.